We're with my man, Kenny Porter.
Yeah.
I've been to Ken's house quite a few times, so I better get it right.
How you doing?
Pretty good. All right. Well, not Keith Thurman, but Kenny Porter. I'm fucking messing up. I'm kidding. You're with Kenny Porter. Now, Ken, let's talk about the biggest buzz that's going on in boxing today, and that is Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. What are your thoughts on that fight? Is it good for boxing? Is it good for MMA?
I was the wrong person for you to ask that question because I'm only interested in Ward Kovalev. Okay, that's all I'm interested in.
That's good to know.
So that's all that's on my mind right now.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you that from a fan standpoint, from a boxing trainer standpoint, and from a friend standpoint. I won't be able to sit down on fight night. You know, in any of those positions, you come out to that fight. If you're a fan, if you are, you know, just a fan of boxing, or if you're a fan of Kovalev, or you're a fan of Ward, you're not going to be able to sit down. I went to the first fight, and I found myself during that fight not being able to yell like I normally would yell because I was so tense. I had a conversation with myself, and I realized, I was like, man, you're not yelling. Why? And then the other part of me was saying, because you're nervous right now.
You're a vocal guy.
And in the beginning of the fight, early stages, you know what I'm saying, that jab that caught Ward, oh man, and then the knockdown, oh man, you know, so I was tense that whole entire fight. So this is the only fight I'm interested in right now. We could talk about that other thing after this, you know, after this interview or later in the interview, but yeah, that's all I'm interested in. And what happened here today with this press conference, I've never seen a press conference like this before. The first thing, I thought it was just me. The first thing that I noticed is, you know, obviously the professionalism from the Rock Nation side. Mr. Yormark, very, very professional. But then when Kathy Duva got up, the first thing that I noticed, and I thought it was just me, is that she was nervous.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, man, she's been doing this for 30 years, 40 years. She's been doing this since I was a kid. Why is she nervous today? You know. And then when Kovalev walked out, or even before Kovalev walked out, when John David Jackson got up and he spoke, he was nervous. It was very evident that their side was nervous. And maybe Kovalev just felt like, you know what, I don't have any words because I'm nervous too, and I'm leaving. And that's what happened.
So you think all that anger, all that hate really is just him being frightened, just being completely scared of Andre Ward?
You know what?
Because he's been very vocal on social media.
Let me say at the least, you know, no fighter's scared. All of them getting in there, everyone is prepared to fight. No one is afraid. But I will say that all fighters get nervous, and what they do with that energy and how they handle that, you know, separates, you know, winners from losers, or, you know, elite level fighters from just good fighters or great fighters. There's a separation there. So, you know, I would never want a fighter, and I've never trained one for that matter, that went into the ring angry. You can't fight angry. You just can't do that. So if they're going to use that as the ammunition, it's not going to be good. It backfired here today. They lost this press conference as far as you know, the first level of the mental, you know, ploying or tactic or, you know, strategy. They lost here.
How did you score the first fight? Did you have Ward winning that fight? Because a lot of people, a lot of fight fans or fight critics had Sergey Kovalev taking the fight.
It could go, you know, there's no argument that it was a controversial fight. You know, I definitely felt that it was a controversial fight. But in my mind, in watching the fight, and I was there live, I didn't score it. I didn't watch it on television. I was there live, so my emotion was really high in the fight. But in my mind, I felt that he won the fight, and there was no doubt in my mind that he won the fight. Is there an argument that Kovalev? Yeah, there's a great argument there that Kovalev won the fight, but it went in Ward's, you know, it went in Ward's favor that night. So I feel that the adjustments he'll make in this fight coming up Saturday night will make it more decisive victory on his behalf.
As you mentioned before, this is the reason why we're having the rematch, because there's so many arguments on both sides, who won the fight. It's going to be a good fight.
I commend both guys for coming back. That doesn't often happen in boxing. Both guys coming back within 6 to 7 months and rematching. You know, it doesn't happen, and I commend both guys for that.
Do you have a prediction for this fight?
Got a prediction. Unanimous decision, Andre Ward. Yes.
Do you think since when he got dropped in the second round, do you think he'll be able to work on the weaknesses? Because he opened up in the last, after the 6th round, everyone got to see what he was about, and Kovalev gassed out. Do you think he'll be able to do that from the beginning of the fight till hopefully knockout or stoppage? Do you think Ward will be able to keep up, you know, change his training and just kick Ward's out? I mean, kick Kovalev's out.
For Andre Ward, he's always been able to adjust, and he made the adjustment in that fight. So you give him 6 months, he'll definitely make the adjustments that would be needed. You know, Kovalev is dangerous early. So if I'm the trainer, if I was the guy working with my fighter fighting Kovalev, you know, I will work on, you know, making sure that he doesn't give him the opportunity to land the big punches early. And we want to get him into later rounds. So yeah, I'm quite sure that Andre Ward will be able to make those adjustments. And you can make an argument. There's an argument that I would say, if you give me not even an undefeated fighter, but just give me a good, fundamentally sound fighter that can take instruction, we can be defensive the first 3 to 4 rounds, and we can get through those rounds. So Andre Ward, being an A-level undefeated fighter, he will definitely make these adjustments and get through these early rounds with Kovalev. And it looks like what I've seen here today, that Ward has already won the first part of this fight.